Enter a circle. Volunteer to start this off. I think Ivo asked me first, so Ivo, go ahead and get us started with your first question.
Why was it dangerous to Ruby to go to the all-white school?
I think that's because people didn't want her at the school and she was.
I think it's because white people and black people want to get together a lot because segregation was still not, segregation was still at time.
And back then there weren't very many African Americans at Caucasian schools, and they were still very segregated.
Can someone keep this going with a text citation?
Okay. In paragraph 1, it says that Marshall took Ruby to school, but why do you think that Marshall had to take her to school?
Because they have to protect her from the Caucasian people who might be really, really mad at her.
They might maybe stab her or something? Try and stab her?
I kind of disagree. I don't think they would go that far.
I think they might throw stuff at her, but not stab her. Maybe
I think they might get mad at them.
That's the reason they took her right into the office. I think they would get mad at more like the principal and the mayor for allowing Ruby Bridges to go into the school.
After a long time, how do you think Ruby felt when she was reunited with her first grade teacher?
Probably felt good because she was the only one in the class because the white people wouldn't want her with in the same class. So she was the only one and she felt good that the teacher wouldn't quit because usually there's not really a one-person class. So it makes sense.
Well, I think she felt really good because her that teacher, she was being really nice to her, and they had a lot of fun together because they were learning. They had really fun together because of what they were learning about.
I think it's because they were the only, because that was almost her only friend for the whole year because there was only the teaching group.
In the last paragraph, it says I was really, really excited about meeting her again because it was a very important part of my life. So right there it says that she was excited about seeing her first teacher. I think on the second page, at the picture, she was smiling. So I thought that meant she was very happy to see her again. I agree with Allison that they had a lot of fun and the teacher was nice to her. And
Well, on the 17th paragraph, page 4, she says that she's very proud of the fact that she made that choice.
I think it's a good idea just to make history. Segregation was still at the time, so just to go to white school, she was really brave to do it. She was really brave.
in paragraph 2, it says that that morning Ruby became one of the first African Americans to attend a all-white elementary school in the South. Maybe there was somebody maybe it was in the North that it wasn't segregated anymore in the North before Ruby.
Well, I think it was everywhere was still segregated, but Ruby,
It first started.
I think it just started once Ruby actually went to school, and when people actually thought about it.
Pretend you were Ruby Bridges. How would you feel if parents hated you?
I would feel sad.
I feel scared.
I'd be scared too.
I personally feel kind of mad at the parents.
If they started screaming at me and started protesting, I would be really scared. But for her to stand up to them, she's really brave.
I 100% agree with you because it does say that she would walk tall and she would be scared to do
parents would try to hurt me because I would be a different race from them.
I agree with Mustafa, because if I was the person of the parents that was being mean to Rosa Parks, I would be really scared because they might put someone in danger.
Yeah.
Like start to hurt them or abuse them.
Just to have marshals with them that would use. Even to have marshals with them that would be scary.
Yeah, maybe they're like mad at the marshals because they're like protecting them.
I don't even know how some people
Why were the people screaming at Ruby Bridges?
Well, because
They were screaming at Ruby Bridges because Ruby Bridges was a different race from all the other people in that school.
Make sure that you cite the text if you have a comment.
why was Ruby's life so dangerous?
Probably because she was she had different skin color than most of the people around her.
Well, that and they were being very rude to her
And not letting open to just let her come in and
On page 1, paragraph 3, it says, for a long time, parts of the United States were segregated or separated by race. So that's why the parents, they were probably mad because they weren't used to it and they weren't okay with it yet.
or maybe they were just scared because they have never seen an African American person before, so she might have been scared. Because at that time there weren't lots of African Americans in this America.
Yeah, because they're like white.
Yeah, because they didn't like him as much, so they wouldn't get along.
And they got treated
I'm going to pause us right here as our midway point. Here's what I want you to do. I'm going to pose one other question for you to kind of gear your partner talk. Here's the question. What can we learn today from Ruby Bridges' example? So when you turn around and talk to the person behind you, think about where you can answer that question using evidence from the text, using your background knowledge. Here's the question again. What can we learn today from Ruby Bridges' example? Remember, as you talk, get your ideas. This is the time for your outside circle to give you those ideas. If you choose to switch places, I will give you that choice right now. Okay? Turn and talk to the person behind you.
It's kind of really expensive, so it's like it's
Inside the text?
Yeah, and then we had a so our teacher calls to come in the middle area. And then we switch.
Okay, so the next time purple will be in the center circle and the center circle will be on the outside?
No, but purple is and also is that we use level 1 questions on level 2.
I see.
We try to use those.
Ready for this? The whitey.
Thank you for sharing. I teach 4th grade too, so I was just watching. Good job.
you have one question at each level.
Is that what this is?
Is that what you guys do on
We
the
make 2 questions, 2 level 3 questions, and then also level 1 questions. And we try to get like as much, we try to get a lot of questions. And so like it's like
So that literal.
That's a really good no, we have to keep on helping the person run. Because they're behind that pretty much.
I'm gonna bring you back here. If you wanted to switch, make sure that my inside circle is filled with the people who are ready. We're gonna start off and lead with that question that I had about what can we learn from Ruby Bridges' example? Please remember to cite your text. And, I think that was about it. All right, Ethan, you wanna give us a start?
So in paragraph 12, it says, today Bridges speaks to kids about the importance of treating one another equally. And
Well, yeah, they want to treat people equally because it's just wrong to not
Yeah, like
pass people.
And she wants to show people that she was treated wrong. She wants to show them how to be treated right. Tell them how to treat people right. Because she was the one that was treated wrong.
why wouldn't the people accept Ruby?
She was another
she was
race,
a race, yeah.
and I think that's the main reason they were used to all white people, and then an African American came in, and they weren't used to it.
it says in paragraph 13, it says she wasn't really afraid of anybody, so because she didn't really know. She was like so young that she didn't really know what was going on.
Yeah, I think she didn't understand it because she
might have
she
not even
probably
known
didn't
about
understand it because she's only 6 years old.
She might have never known what segregation was. She might have never known that
Well, I
they were
think
protesting for her.
I think that she probably did.
Yeah, probably.
How did she end up in the principal's office the first day she was at
Well,
school?
because no one would let her.
taking-
Yeah, no one would
Yeah.
let her into the classroom, and they would all like.
It would block the way. They would push her right into the
Go
principal's
and use
office.
a text citation in this. Find where it says in the text.
Okay, it says in paragraph 2 that she held her head high with the marshals surrounding her, and so I think no one could get near her because there was marshals around her. And
Do you think the marshals were also racist?
I
No.
don't think so.
I
Because
don't.
No,
Because
because
if
the
they're-
guards were the one that had to walk her in.
Yeah, if,
And it says, like it shows in the picture that there is two white men and a black man.
yeah.
And
I thought the marshals would get along. They wouldn't get rid of people segregated. So they wouldn't care if they were helping the white person or helping the black person.
Yeah, because that's their job.
That's their
it's
job.
legit. Yeah.
Yeah, they help white and black people go into different schools before the segregation.
Do you think that she was excited to see her teacher on the second day of school?
I think she was happy because
She was her first teacher. Like,
yeah.
And
her
she didn't get to
teacher-
see her the whole
Yeah, and
school
she
day. She
didn't-
just had to sit in the principal's
And her
office.
teacher was
for all of
nice
it.
to her, so Yeah.
And then she ended up being the only student in the classroom, like it says. And
but why did the teacher accept her?
Yeah, why did the teacher accept her?
That's why.
I think the teacher accepted her
Well-
because like she was like the only kid in the class, but the other kids wouldn't let her in, so she accepted her to like come in and learn, so she didn't have to like
she might
stay
have felt
up
bad for her.
Yeah, she might have felt like Jameson just said, like she might have felt bad for her, so what they did is probably like they let her in, but then they like taught her stuff, and then she was the only kid in the class.
Paragraph 7, it says, Mrs. Henry was one of the nicest teachers I've ever had. That could be Ruby Bridges teacher WRS.
It says in paragraph 6 that from the principal's office, Ruby watched as angry parents pulled their children out of school. If you were the one seeing that, how would you feel about it being about you?
I would feel really like disappointed for the parents and the children because it's just like hurting
Most of the children, they didn't want to leave school. They didn't really care about the race or anything.
To add to that, why do you think the other children came back the next year?
Because
they were
parents
probably
tired.
yeah, and they were probably over it by then because there was probably more people, more African American people going to school after that year.
Because
So.
now they know that white people won't do that much to them.
And they shouldn't be segregated.
Exactly.
Oh, I think they came back because they weren't behaving well and their parents wanting them to behave better, so they brought them
They
back to
felt bad.
school.
Do we have any clues in the text to support what we are saying?
I think
Great ideas. Let's just see if we can put it right back in there.
I think
Why did they come back?
because she was brave.
Why were her parents so worried that she would not be able to get to class anyway?
Because most
In paragraph 8, it says that outside the building, people continued to protest. Others, though, believe everyone should have civil rights.
It would be a big mob, and she could get hurt, and like she can't get to class because it's a big mob, so that's why her parents would probably worry.
How would she get home with the big crowd like blocking her way? Would they like follow her?
The marshals.
Because at the end of the year, they kind of started to decrease in the window. When she returned to 6th grade, there was no protesters. On the paragraph at paragraph 9.
Well,
In paragraph 17, it says
Yeah, I
that
mean,
her mom was very, like, she was very proud that Ruby was doing it, and on the other hand, her dad was more concerned about her safety, so I'd probably be the one to be more concerned.
Okay, it's like what Mustafa said in paragraph 9, where by the end of the year, crowds began dwindle or decrease, and it started to like go down. So the people who were shouting and like being mean, they started to go away, and then all of it ended, and then the kids came back the next day and went to school.
And one of the laws when Miss Mrs. Ruben Bridges went to black school, they changed the law into like black people could go to in paragraph 5 they made a rule, and then but New still they weren't going, like white people wouldn't go to the black school, and the black people wouldn't go to the white schools. She was the only one.
Like, on page 2, verse 4, it says, the case versus Brown, and the one of the case is not the Brown one because they thought that they were not treated right when they were there.
I'm gonna bring this to a close, I'm so sorry, but here's what I want you to do. Now that you might be left with something you're still wondering about. You might have this great aha moment that you just noticed. I want you to take just a few minutes when I dismiss you to go back to your desk and write on the back of your index card, what is something new you've learned? What are you still wondering about? Or what is that aha moment that it was like, oh, you know what, I just realized something. Okay, so on the back of your index card, if you got some space, I want you to write about what you may have learned something new, what you just realized, or what are you still wondering about. You're going to do this back at your desk. Ready?